Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the morning routine. It is Friday morning, November the 3rd, 2017, episode number 210. And once again, I am talking a little bit quieter this morning because we have a guest right on the other side of our camera behind a wall back there, and I'm trying to not wake them up. Good luck with that, right? So I'm feeling my voice is a little I feel like I want to sing opera with this voice. It's not a sick voice, though. I think it's an exhausted voice since I've only had about 4 hours of sleep. Because as you know, anybody who was on the morning routine yesterday, I had a great decision to make. And for some of you, you already know what it was. Because my back is out and I'm having back issues this week where I'm either working in my chair or I'm laying flat trying to get through the week until my back can heal. But we had a great opportunity yesterday for my son and I to do something with some friends, and I didn't know if I could do it or not because the pain in my back is so excruciating. And so I'm reflecting on, actually, this is crazy. I'm going to share with you later on at the end of the episode, but I was reflecting on a passage of wisdom that I know, and I was like, you know what? I've got to go. And so yesterday I did make the decision to fight through the pain and to accompany my son Zachary and some friends to the New York Jets Buffalo Bills game in New Jersey, which was an amazing event to watch. My son is a out of control Jets fan, and he is one heck of an adventure to go anywhere with. And I had so much fun, and he had so much fun. He left our group at one time. The 4 people we went with were, 3 were Buffalo Bills fan, 1 Giants fan. I'm a Vikings fan. He was the only Jets fan in our group. We got to the game. He tried leaving us right in the beginning because right across the spot from us in the parking lot when we were tailgating was a group of Jets fans, and he wanted to hang with his Jets people instead of with the Buffalo Bill fans that he came with, which is our friends. And so he went and visited there for a little while and then came back. And then in typical Zach fashion, sitting watching the game, by the end of the game, he was not even sitting with us. He was sitting behind us with 2 ladies that he met, and they were watching the game together. I mean, the guy's incredible. Like, what can you say? You know? So, but what a night. What a great night. Low 60s, perfect weather for football, and had a great time. So, well worth the pain and sacrifice to do something wonderful like that. So, and I'll share with you the passage that I reflected on that helped me make the choice to actually fight through the pain and do that with him. That'll be the passage of wisdom today. So you'll get to hear what that passage was at the end of this episode. So, but I hope everybody's doing well. It is Friday, the end of the normal work week. Congratulations, people. We have made it to yet another Friday. Big weekend ahead, of course. 2 days to do whatever you want, hopefully. And I hope you've got plans to use it up. So that'll be great. But I do have some stories for you this morning. So let's move on to some stories. This story has got me. Now, yesterday, guys, I told you I'm not big into conspiracy theories. When I was telling you, sharing with you the article about how the U.S. government's agency seems to mess up the energy numbers drastically, and you can't mess them up in 2 different directions at the same time, but they managed to do it. Well, this is not a conspiracy theory, but this is actual facts about something that drug companies are doing. I can't even believe it, honestly. I mean, I can't believe it. That's it. So this is it. The title of this article, it came from NPR, is Drug Companies Make Eye Drops Too Big and You Pay for the Waste. So listen to this. If you've ever put in eye drops, some of them have almost certainly spilled out onto your eyelid or cheek. Everybody's in agreement right now. The good news is the mess doesn't necessarily mean you missed. The bad news is that medicine you wiped off your face is wasted by design. Yes, it's well known to the drug companies that make the drops. Eye drops overflow our eyes because drug companies make the typical drop larger than what the human eye can hold. Now, we're not talking about a little bit larger. We're talking about larger. Crucial eye medications to treat conditions like glaucoma can cost hundreds of dollars for a small bottle that lasts only a month, making the waste of even a drop a problem for low-income patients. Last year, drug companies brought in about $3.4 billion alone in the U.S. for drops for dry eyes and glaucoma. $3.4 billion. The size of eye drops isn't regulated. Some are over 50 microliters, more than twice what your eye can actually hold. Is this like serious, right? When drops are too big, the overflow runs down the face or drains into the body through the ducts in the corner of the eye. This explains why you sometimes get the sensation of tasting eye drops that have entered through your sinuses. This is a big deal, guys. The drop size is not a medical dosing issue because the human eye can only absorb 7 microliters. Common drop sizes are between 25 and 56. So the drug companies are making eye drops that are drastically larger than what they know your eye can handle. It's just, it can't take any more. And they're doing it simply so that waste will roll off your face and they can sell $3.4 billion worth of eye drops. That's just incredible. So I don't know. Something should be done about that. I can't believe it. But anyways, that's a real story. That's really what's going on there. Let's move on. Something a little bit more fun. The Slinky. For those who do not know the history of the Slinky, I have the answer right here. This is a little bit more lighthearted than drug companies and the oppression of eye drops that they have on us. The Slinky may have become a phenomenon, but it was born an accident. Richard James, a naval engineer during World War II, was working with torsion springs when one fell out of a box. He watched in awe as it walked across the table. He spent the next few years tinkering with coils in search of the slinkiest shape, one that's fully compressed when relaxed. Shopkeepers thought it was too boring for kids who like to use loud and colorful toys, so James, the creator, took the marketing into his own hands, and he staged a department store demo that sparked a craze. 72 years later, over $300 million of Slinkies have sold. Well done, Richard James. The key here, and I never thought about this, is when he was working on this, he was tinkering with coils in search of a slinkiest shape and one that's fully compressed when relaxed. If you think about springs when relaxed are always expanded. So he had to figure out how to make that relaxed. I never really thought about that much about how to make a Slinky, but this guy did it. So good for you, Richard James. $300 million for making a Slinky. Well done. Last story I have for you today is about a tiny home. So tiny homes, as you know, are huge. People are buying them all over the country. Everybody thinks they're the cutest little things. Most people have said somewhere along the line, that would be really cool. A lot of people say really cool, but no chance, right? After you see that you can barely own anything. I think you can own like a pair of socks, pair of underwear, shorts, and that's probably about it. I'm sorry, sarcasm. But anyways, so listen to this story. In Helsinki, like many cities, there isn't enough housing to keep up with demand. Some people blame a lack of land to build new housing. But one design firm argues that there is enough land if you know where to look. The firm's new building is designed to fit in a single parking spot. Yes, all the streets and cityscapes are based on car dimensions. We have all this talk about the density of cars getting less and less in cities, and at the same time we are talking about people moving into the cities, but we don't have space to build. And this is true. If you've been watching the morning routine for quite some time, we have talked many times about what are they going to do with the parking lots in cities, because less and less people are buying their own car and using their own car, as Uber and things like that have gotten big, as autonomous vehicles are right around the corner. All these things are going on. This combines the two together. It's fascinating. A prototype of the design has it's called the Tiku, which means Finnish for the word stick, has a footprint slightly larger than 8 feet by 16 feet. But with 3 stories tall, it has enough room to make it a comfortable place to live or work. Now, this is the interesting part about this original concept design. I don't think this is going to work, and that's why they're working on another design, but let's just talk about it. First, it says the modules can be built in a factory and the whole house can be installed in a parking lot overnight, so they're fast to put up. And here's the deal. The first prototype doesn't have space for a kitchen or running water. Based on the reasoning that someone living in the middle of an urban neighborhood could get food elsewhere and shower at a gym, it does have a composting toilet in it, though. It runs on its own solar panels, so it doesn't need electricity for the power grid because you're putting it in a parking lot. And the wood material is self-insulating and warm in the winter, so it doesn't need to be hooked up to electric. We just said that. Or gas. But the architects are now working on a design that can also be connected to water and work more like a conventional house. They cost $40,000, and then you just need to rent a parking spot to park it on. Right? So pretty cool, man. I think it's really neat. They're taking two different things and putting them together. Excess parking spots with the diminish of cars, not enough housing. Boom. Combine the two, you're done. So very well thought through. But let's move on. Let's see what's trending, guys. The top 10 most searched things yesterday on Google. Number 1, John Grissom. John Grissom is the guy I covered the other day about Corey Feldman, where I didn't know how I felt that he was trying to collect $10 million to help him make a movie to out somebody that he said had molested him as a student or as a young person in Hollywood. Well, he finally came out with the name, and that is John Grissom. That is the top of the most searched things on Google. Number 2, Deshaun Watson, football player who was injured. Number 3, Thor Ragnarok. Number 4, Call of Duty World War II. Number 5, the Buffalo Bills. They got creamed last night. They just got creamed. Number 6, tax reform. It's coming. Big things are ahead. Number 7, Donna Brazil. Number 8 is Jose Altuve. Number 9 is Academy. Number 10 is the Kid, Kidde, that's a brand, fire extinguisher recall. So if you got a fire extinguisher in your house, which you should, Kid, who's a huge label, name, brand, sold at all the different stores, check and see if your fire extinguisher is part of the recall. I'd hate for you to have spent the money to have a fire extinguisher in the house, which is a wise thing to do, and have one that isn't going to work. So check it out. Make sure that yours is a good one. So on we go. Trending news for today. The top of the list, Donald Trump on social media. Employee inadvertently deactivated Trump's account on Twitter. Inadvertently. That's too bad. Next, near North Side Chicago, shooting at an uptown Starbucks was last night. Then we have Thornton, Colorado. 3 killed in shooting in Walmart in Colorado. It's just getting crazy. Next, House of Cards. Several House of Cards employees level new accusations against Kevin Spacey. As you know, he was on the news in the recent times that he had made an advance towards a young teenager back in his early years. Next, we have DNA Info and Gothamist. DNA Info and Gothamist are shut down after vote to unionize. Don't know anything about that. Next, we have Kmart. Cleveland Kmart set to close in January. Next, we have the Hershey Company. Hershey's Gold Candy Company offers first new bar variety since 1995. The Hershey Gold Bar. Very interesting. Let's see here. 2 more stories. 1, Trailblazers versus Lakers. It's been confirmed that Dame Dolla rescues Trailblazers versus Lakers. Must be a player. I don't know. But the last story. Maine Medical Center. 9-year-old cancer patient asks for cards to celebrate last Christmas early. Isn't that an amazing story? This 9-year-old with stage 4 high-risk neuroblastoma wants cards for his early last Christmas. You can search that out online if you want to participate in what that article is about. It is on there. It's if you were to go on Facebook and go to your homepage and look at the news on the right-hand side and expand it, it'll be right on that link down near the bottom. It says Maine Medical Center if you want to read more about that and see how you can participate. So very, very cool. So on we go. Passage of wisdom, guys. We're flying this morning, I'm telling you. So today's passage of wisdom, guys. So yesterday, as I was trying to decide, I started the broadcast today with this, trying to decide whether I should push through with my bad back that I'm having this week, where I can barely get out and move around and do anything, and go to this football game with my son, knowing that it would put me in the wrong direction. All I could think about was this passage in my head. So today I'm sharing James chapter 4, verses 13 and 14. Now listen, you who say, today or tomorrow we will go to this or that city, spend a year there, carry on business, and make money. Why do you say that? Why? You do not even know what will happen tomorrow. This passage talks about making plans, looking forward, when you're not even guaranteed today. We don't know when our time will come. And all I could think about yesterday was, this is going to set my back backwards. I'm going to have increased pain. I'm going to have a rough time on this thing with my back. But this will be an amazing experience that my son will remember forever, and he will have so much fun. And so, with not being able to count my days, I had to go and do that. So I don't know if that's the smartest way to look at everything that we do, but it is a lens to look at the decisions that we make and what we put importance on and what we don't. So let's read it again one more time. James chapter 4, verse 13 and 14. Now listen, you who say, today or tomorrow we will go to this or that city, spend a year there, carry on business, and make money. Why? You do not even know what will happen tomorrow. Use up today, guys. You've got it. Use it up, and don't count on tomorrow being the day that you can do the great things that you were meant to do. So let's pray, guys. Let's start this day. Father, good morning. Father, thank you for this Friday. Father, thank you for your Bible, your words, your living words that give us guidance and wisdom and help us make wise decisions and help us keep things in perspective of what's most important, where do we put our trust and faith, and how do we look at each and every moment, and what do we do with it? Thank you for the guiding rod that you have given us, the true north, as some might say. We thank you for that. Thank you for keeping us safe last night as we traveled out of state and went to a football game and a great game and a great event. Father, today I want to pray for everybody in the morning routine that this weekend we can all have great moments that will be cherished and remembered for years to come with our family and our friends and the different things that we do. We appreciate the opportunity to work hard during the week. And we also appreciate the time when we're not working, that we could spend together making memories and doing things that are timeless. Father, thank you for your love and your protection. Be with us today and through the weekend and keep us safe. We love you. Amen. And that, my friends, is a wrap. Thank you for being here on this Friday in the morning routine. I hope that you truly have an amazing weekend and that you cherish each and every moment of today, this Friday, this November the 3rd. You won't have this day again. So use it up. And today, don't forget, guys, to be exactly who you were meant to be. You were created and intended for a specific purpose. Don't lose sight of that and be that person today. Have a great weekend. I love you guys.